Learn something from this.
I am Sheree's warehouse of fashions with no fashions, here to deliver the goods, okay? Better known as Unicorn. And what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome back. Come on in. Get comfortable. Kick off your shoes, relax your feet, and boogie on down to the escape. You just can't get So, we got a lot to discuss today. But before we even get on into it, y'all already know the routine. When you come up in this house, you make sure you press that like, share, and subscribe, and all of the things that you know you're supposed to do when you come to somebody's YouTube house, okay? Make sure you do what you're supposed to do when you get up in here, okay? We got rules to follow. We got bills to pay and things to do, okay? Y'all, okay, before we even get into the episode, right? Let's have a discussion. I don't really like how this lighting is treating me. Let's talk. Let's talk in my windy voice. Let's talk. Come closer. How are y'all feeling about this season? We 2 episodes in. I feel like at this point, we could say how we feel, right? So how are y'all feeling? Are y'all liking this season so far? Do y'all like the addition of the new girls? How are y'all feeling about Courtney and Sanya?
Bombastic side eye.
And Akila and the B or whatever. How y'all feeling? What is the gist? Are y'all feeling like we are planting seeds to grow a good season? Or do y'all feel like it's kind of falling flat? Me, personally, I'm feeling like this season has like all the potential to be good, but there is something missing. And I said this last season, and I think that casting has gotten way too reliant on trying to cast somebody to help legitimize Bravo. Like at this point, we don't need anybody else to legitimize Bravo. Like y'all literally have a beauty queen, Kenya. Y'all have a fucking Grammy winner and a Tony and an Emmy nominee, Kandi. Y'all had Cynthia, a former model. Like this cast has always been good. It has always been good at like picking out random people from all over the globe or whatever, putting them on this one show, and then, you know, creating magic. But I think over the years, y'all have just gotten lazy, i.e. Sanya. Why is Sanya here? Nene didn't feel like the show could survive without her. And y'all are kind of proving her right. Like now, don't get me to saying that I want Nene back. I already told y'all a couple of weeks ago that I don't care to ever see Nene back on the show. Me personally, I don't care. She called her boss a crackhead. She called her boss a crackhead racist. It is safe to say she's not coming back. Okay? Kandi and Kenya have been doing this for so long, like it might be time to like phase them out at some point, you know? And so y'all need to start looking for their replacements. If you think that their replacements are Drew and Sanya and Marlo, we are in bad shape. We are in terrible shape. I need to go find a girl who is ready and willing to make great TV without coming across as like thirsty. Just somebody with a natural personality that draws people to them, that makes good TV. It just can't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, child, okay. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Like, am I crazy here, or am I making a little bit of sense? I feel like I'm making a little bit of sense here, okay? You know, somebody gotta make sense. Anyway, so the episode starts off with a continuation of last week where Kenya and Monyetta are delivering the tea to Sheree that Martell is talking to other people in Atlanta or whatever. So then Martell and his little bald head ass, he walks over to Blah. Monyetta brings up the fact that she knows that he's talking to somebody in Atlanta. And Martell was like, well, if I was talking to somebody else, she wouldn't be getting none of my time because I'm always with Sheree when I'm in Atlanta. Sheree is just sitting there like all proud and just like, yeah, my man told this bitch, he ain't out here dipping and doing it with no other bitches. Sheree, you would have to be like the lamest, most insecure and foolish ass woman in America in anywhere, girl, in the earth, girl, like stretching beyond the stars, you would have to be just goddamn stupid and silly to believe that a known liar, adulterer, manipulative ass, cheating dog head, bald head ass nigga would not be talking to somebody else while he is also talking to you, when he was talking to somebody while he was married to his wife of 15 years. Be fucking for real, Sheree. Now, my issue with Martell is that nigga lied when he ain't got to lie. The smart thing would have been for Martell to say, anybody who I'm with outside of Sheree is really only my business. And if Sheree wanted to know, I would gladly tell her whoever it is or whatever it is that I was doing outside of her. If she wanted to know, I would divulge that information to her. But you, I don't even know you. Why are you talking to me, little girl? If Sheree got a problem with me doing whatever I'm doing, then me and Sheree can have that conversation. But you and I ain't got nothing to talk about, Manyetta. Okay. And I think this is where we cut to Kandi and Courtney over there fussing about whatever. But what I will say is that Marlo's confessionals have been so good lately. Like, I really do think that the producers or the editors, whoever, is really like giving us Marlo in small doses, because I genuinely think that they like Marlo for this show. And they are really trying to clean up her image from last season. It's like, we don't like her like that. Why do y'all... Girl. But if I had to say something nice about Marlo, is that she looked good at that party and her confessionals are funny. She was like, I'm appalled. That the fact that she even know the word appalled, I bet she couldn't spell it though. But I'm appalled that I am not in the mess and everybody else is. Therapy. It works. Get into it. She ate that. Yes, Marlo. All right, that's it for Marlo. Okay, so now we move on over to Kenya and Martell in this damn DM. Martell comes over or whatever, and he says, I ain't never DM'd you, girl. Like, basically lying or whatever. And then he gets, like, defensive or whatever. It was like, well, can Kenya speak? Like, she's sitting here. Can she speak? And the energy was... You got so much to say, speak up because I'm here now. You know, that's kind of what the energy was giving to me. So Kenya interpreting that as aggressive is not like totally off base, but I just don't know if I would have called it aggressive right then and there in that moment. Then Martell says, well, she probably accepted messages from everybody. And then it's like, hold on, wait now. Because now, let me get you together before you try to read, okay? In the words of Shangela. One, you're indirectly calling Kenya a hoe. Like, there's no other way to slice what he tried to imply. One, bitch, you tried to call me a hoe. Two, girl, now what does that say about you that I answer everybody's messages, but I left you sitting there in the dark? Now your feelings is hurt and you mad because you think I respond to everybody, but I didn't respond to you. So now you hype because you sitting over here, because you over here with your little girlfriend when you could have had all this, but you couldn't because you are nasty. Now here's where I'm having trouble with this whole DM thing, right? Because Martell has his receipt of what he said to Kenya. But in Kenya's phone, the message is deleted. I don't know that DMs expire. I've never seen a DM expire unless it was a story and he tagged her. He would have no reason to do that. So to me, it wasn't a story post and it expired. He actually DM'd her, but it did not show up in her inbox. So the only way that he could have access to this, because he had to have deleted the message, is if he took a screenshot of the message and kept it for safekeeping if this were to ever come up. Y'all also have to realize that Martell is not new to this. He is also a reality star and he knows how to make good TV. This all seems like a scheme that Todd set up, if you ask me. So then, as the conversation is going on or whatever, Martell says, I don't care if I was trying to fuck you 2 years ago. Why are you bringing it up? And it's like, ooh. Now, honestly, that's the kind of energy I could have respected initially. If it came about like, oh, you hit me up 2 years ago, da 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 da, he was like, okay, and that was 2 years ago. Move around. I'm with Sheree now. What's up? But the fact that you tried to lie about it, the fact that you tried to slut shame her in between the messages, like you got your feelings hurt, and now you resort to trying to like belittle her. And now, is there a possibility that Kenya rushed into calling the man aggressive? There's a world for that, okay? But now, when we get here to where you are all hype and you slut shaming her and now you trying to belittle her, yeah, nigga, now we can call this aggressive. We can call this aggressive behavior. And now Kenya rightfully gets up, defends herself, and now they going back and forth. What are you saying to this queen sitting in front of you? I'm just like, girl, Kenya, girl, calm down, this thing. Calm down. So, this queen in front of you. All right, girl. But yeah, y'all, like if you know anything about Martell, like you know that he played this exact same game with his ex-wife when he when they were going through their issues or whatever. He cheated on her, had a baby outside of her. The only thing that man could resort to doing was to start slut shaming her, talking about she was cheating on him, and then that she wasn't doing her wifely duties, talking about she wasn't fucking his meat, and I'm just. It actually, wifely duties, I don't like that term. I do not like the term wifely duties because I don't never hear of women talking about husband duties, but niggas always talking about wifely duties when girls ain't sucking no meat. And it's just like, wifely duties just sound so nasty. It sounds like y'all go to the outhouse and y'all do it with your clothes on, next to like a candle and dirty laundry right next to you. Like, girl, it just don't sound good. It sounds spoiled, wifely duties. Ugh. Kenya and Sheree end up having this interaction to where now they're kind of yelling at each other, and it's just like, Sheree, did you not just hear what your man just said? Like, okay, at the end of the day, yes, could Kenya have been wrong in this scenario? Sure, she could have been wrong in some area, right? Martell is not your man. This is not your husband. So this is not somebody that you necessarily need to defend right now. You and Kenya have like a work friendship or whatever, and I would just think that would outweigh this random fling that you are having with this nasty nigga. Like, you girl, like, you could have defended Kenya in this moment, but she chose to defend Martell, and that is because she is getting dick down, and, you know, I mean, sister, because at the end of the day, only you gotta go to bed with that man. I know that's right. She said, bitch, I'm tired of using this motherfucking toy. I'm tired of using Kandi's coated clit at night, bitch. I want hard peen work, okay? I endorse it. Let me go on to the next scene where we are at Drew and Ralph's house. I don't care. Sanya tells Kandi that Courtney called her ghetto. Kandi had to gag her real quick and be like, girl, hold on. Pause. While this long-haired trout mouth ass heifer was talking about me, calling me ghetto, what were you saying? Like, Kandi clocked the bullshit. Like, no, you did not defend me. You did not say I'm not ghetto. You did not try to have my back at all. You sat there and laughed and giggled with Sheree and trout mouth. So now we get down to Blaze, where Kandi and Todd and her cousin are taste testing food or whatever. The producer walks in the middle of the scene and was just like, are we not gonna talk about the elephant in the room? And the elephant in the room is messy when the elephant in the room is indeed big. Eric, you is a messy bitch who lives for drama, and sweetie, I live for you, kinda, okay? Because that is not nice. You know that man sitting over there 3,000 pounds, and you gonna say, what? We're not gonna talk about the elephant in the room. That was mean, that was messy, you ain't right, you bald head bitch. But the only thing I got to say about that is that, like, I don't like how insensitive. I remember when this scene was previewed that folks on Twitter was kind of like, yes, make Kandi work, make Kandi work. And it's just like, first of all, Kandi has been working since she stepped foot on the show. I really don't like the narrative that Kandi doesn't work and Kandi is boring. Like, there has really not been one housewife who has given her life to this show the way that Kandi has. I don't give a fuck what y'all say about it. Like, Kandi works harder than any of these girls on this show. Y'all are not gonna just sit up here and say that she just getting a free check. No, Kandi uses this platform like she should. She maximizes it to her full potential, and everybody else should be doing the same. Meanwhile, you got Sanya over here peddling her little bop 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 shirts. Girl, don't nobody give a fuck about that damn saying, nor you, nor that damn shirt and that little basic ass kids Nickelodeon bop ass font you put on bop bop bop. Like, none of that shit is cute to me. The only two people who are using this show correctly is Kenya and Kandi. That's it. So moving on from there. So then we got this scene where Kenya meets up with her friend. I want to say her name is Akila. Beautiful girl. She has her daughter there playing tennis. Brooklyn and her daughters playing tennis. Akila and Kenya, they're having a conversation about what took place at Ross's birthday party. And then we cut over to Sheree and Sanya, and then they are having a conversation about the same thing. Sheree and Sanya feel like Kenya uses trigger words against black men to make them aggressive or whatever, and they feel like she does that because she does not have a black man at her side. And while I could understand how one could come to that conclusion, because Kenya does have a habit of, when she is not in a relationship or she is not in the best place in her relationships, she has a habit of dragging other people into her misery. I.e., when she spilled the beans on Cynthia's engagement, I felt like that was so fucked up of her. I did not like that at all. And I think that it was because she was going through what she was going through in her marriage. But I will say that in this moment, I just don't think that is the same thing. I think that we as black people sometimes, we tend to excuse, ignore, and coddle black men way too much. Martell has a mama just like these women who likes to excuse his behavior and coddle him. And now we have a man who walks around this earth thinking that he is above reproach and he's never wrong and he never has to take accountability. It has been one of the only women on this show to really call black men, any man on this show, aggressive when the time has called for them to be aggressive. Like that man when they were in like Miami or something like that, when he was being aggressive with her, Mike, Bob Whitfield, like, Kenya calls the shit to the carpet, and she is usually going out of her way to protect other women. And she never gets that in return, especially from Sheree. Sheree, for whatever reason, never sees the fault in men and only sees the fault in women. And I'm curious to know how Sheree deals with her own domestic violence situation. Like, does she blame herself? Is that something that she also does, that she only blames herself for the situation that she's been in with Bob? I would like to know more about that. Okay, so then from there we go to Drew and Ralph in the studio. She's singing. Okay, next. So now we go to Sheree and Kenya at Sheree's Warehouse of Fashions with no fashion. We live. Okay. I don't have much to say about this scene besides that Sheree is an idiot. Kenya explained it to her every which way and she just did not get it. And I think when Kenya said that, like, you've been through these situations before and you have not learned to pick up on the signs, and I, as your friend, am just trying to tell you and warn you that these are signs of an abusive man. And when we say abusive, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical, but it can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be verbal, and all that other kind of good stuff. I think that there is room for that conversation, especially because he is well documented on his show as being manipulative, and manipulation is a form of like abuse. It's abusive, you know. I don't like, but I do want to make sure that we are very clear about the way that we are using the word abusive, though, because abusive does have this connotation of like you automatically jump to like physical abuse. I think that people should people should not just go around loosely using abusive in lieu of like, you know, controlling, manipulative, verbally aggressive, and all that other kind of shit. And make sure that you are, when it is abuse, call it abuse, but make sure that you are choosing correct words when you are trying to describe people. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I just think that Kenya is trying to do her best as a friend to let her friend know, like, girl, these are the signs and you're missing it. I don't know how you're missing it again, but you've been through this before. You've been down this road before. What's going on, sister? But my girl's over there getting dick down, and I ain't mad at her, girl. Go have your fun, sister, I guess. Okay. But yes, that is all we got on this here today. What do y'all think about this episode? What did y'all think about Sheree and Kenya? Like, did y'all think that Kenya was wrong at any point? Did you think Martell was wrong? Like, what are y'all's feelings about what happened on this episode? Okay, y'all, it has been a long time. My voice hurt. It is time for me to go. Now, next week, I will be doing a review of Martha's Vineyard, Summer House Martha's Vineyard. I haven't done the first 2 episodes because I wanted to wait until episode 3 to really get a full scope of who these people are so I can judge them accordingly. But I do have some very strong feelings about this cast, especially that nigga that just walked in there with them neck braids, with that damn Alien versus Predator ass braids he got in his head. I don't like Phil. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him at all, bitch. I will never like him. I don't like that kind of energy. I don't like her. He is fine though. Bitch, let me say you something, okay? I ain't shit. Okay, but that's all I got, y'all. I will see y'all next week. Make sure go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. Do all the things. Goonicorn, GOONICORN. And I will talk to y'all next week. Toodles.